By order of the Overseer Council, if you are seeing this document, please immediately report to the person listed at the top of Foundation Personnel List 8288-A. Item number: SCP-4461. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-4461 is to be contained in a nondescript box near, but preferably not directly on, a Foundation site. This location is not to be listed in any Foundation records or disclosed to any Foundation employee except this object's HMCL. Footnote 1. Hazardous Materials Containment Liaison. The database version of this containment file is not to include... Okay, so, at some point a bunch of stuff got deleted, but I didn't do it. I promise. I am a janitor. I don't usually work with files, so I'm really sorry if this is in the wrong format or something, but I'm going to do my best. There are a lot of options on this screen, and I'm afraid of clicking the wrong one and messing everything up, so please stay with me, okay? The box is to obviously be marked as Foundation property, with prominent instructions that if found, it should not be opened, but instead be delivered to the next person on Foundation Personnel List 8288-A. See Addendum 1. A physical copy of this containment file is to be printed on acid-free paper, and the attached files downloaded onto non-volatile, removable media. A copy is to be placed with SCP-4461 in the event that HMCL is unable to find a replacement before becoming incapacitated or meets an unexpected death. Test? Can I add stuff? Nash Pinkle was here. Oh shit, how do I delete that? In the event that HMCL discovers any other Foundation employee, up to and including O5 personnel, is attempting to investigate SCP-4461, they are to immediately initiate the containment protocol listed in Addendum 3. Description: SCP-4461 is a round sphere of leather, 73 mm in diameter, stitched from 2 pieces of fitting leather scraps secured into a spherical pouch with twine. Testing confirms it is filled with sand of unknown origin. Attempts to open the object for further testing do not work. It looks kinda like an ancient baseball. SCP-4461 is an Infohazard. When a person in a position of leadership becomes aware of SCP-4461, they immediately become an instance of SCP-4461-A. In a matter of time ranging from several weeks to several months, the organizational structure below SCP-4461-A suffers increased inefficiency, failure, and catastrophe that grows in severity. Footnote 2. Attempts to trick the object through shell corporations, organizational silos, and other business structures do not appear to work. The ball knows who's boss. Fucking wanker. These include, but are not limited to, loss of efficiency, policy violations, sickness, increased turnover rate, accidents, sudden death. Ultimately, the organizational structure reporting to SCP-4461-A will crumble. Further hierarchies under SCP-4461-A's command will also fail. Notably, SCP-4461-A will not suffer these effects themselves, unless those above them in their organizational hierarchy are also affected. Other things have been tried sometimes, but didn't work. But, you know, you can't really test it without people finding out, and then everything is fucked, right? If I'm being honest, I don't want to do this. So it was, like 2 years or so ago, I was working janitor for Site 52 outside Manchester. Come on, you Reds! I get told, pack your shit up, Nash, you're going to France. So I get an address and a plane ticket, my flat gets sold overnight, and I'm off to fucking France. I don't speak French. This effect can only be stopped by SCP-4461-A's death. Uses of amnestics on affected subjects do not slow or inhibit the effects of SCP-4461. So I find out I'm the new trainee under this old guy, Dean. Wasn't much training, and I was shit at the job, right? Thought I was gonna get fired, kept fucking things up. And then one day he told me about this 4461, and told me I'd be promoted to HMCL. And I asked him what it meant, and he gave me this USB stick, told me to read the file. Then he wished me good luck and was gone. Never saw him again. Addenda. Addendum 1. 1.A. Foundation Personnel List 8288-A. FPL 8288-A is a list of 50 Class 0 Clearance Foundation personnel who have the lowest scores on the Ransard G Ambition Scale and no subordinates. This list is to be placed in an easily accessible location with redundant backups and be made available to all Foundation employees. It is to be self-maintaining without human intervention. Attempts to redact or expunge this document should be met with warnings regarding unspecified infohazardous. It sucks being on this list. Makes you a joke. Nobody takes you seriously. I am Nash, king of Shit Hill. And when you're on this list, you go nowhere. Never get promotions, but you also don't get fired. Look at the thing at the next... Fuck shit. Okay, so, it was in the next one. It's not there anymore. I accidentally turned the whole fucking thing into blocks, and can't change it back. Fuck. Anyway, there's this thing about the job, right? You can't get fired, not allowed. If you're on that shit list, you stay there. For fucking ever. I asked Dean before he left if I had done a good job. No, he laughed, and I thought he was taking the piss. Then he says, you were shit at your job, but you'll get better. We all do. Addendum 1.B. Employment Status and FPL 8288-A. It looks like this entire section has been entirely redacted, replaced with black squares. Undo. Unredact. Fuck, not working. Oh, but you know what you can do? Get transferred. I've had shitty supervisors that wanted me out of my ass, but they weren't allowed. They transfer me somewhere else. Know how that feels? I've been transferred to 4 sites since getting into this shit. I even started learning French. Fat lot it did me. Addendum 2. Unusual Cargo Manifest 1691. The RH Commission on Unusual Cargo Manifest. Authorized by the Board of Regents of said Commission. Manifest number 349. Storage. I have placed the object in a box, with a letter detailing its effects, and placed both inside a larger box, and buried them out near our headquarters, beneath 3 coconut trees on the due west side of the island. Cargo description. Large section removed with ink. I discovered the object when I met a privateer in Clue Bay. He was a destitute fellow, who, in a drunken state, told me of his woes. After raiding a merchant vessel and obtaining the object, he had a round of terrible luck that resulted in the deaths of most of his crew and the sinking of his ship. Upon obtaining the object, I suffered a similar fate. The commission agents under my command all met sad and terrible fates, and I was relieved of my duty. Experiments on the object's effects proved similar. The only relief I have is that neither the object nor its properties were as of yet disclosed to the commissioner. Understanding now what I do about it, I know of only one solution. I shall bury the item, turn in my resignation to the commissioner, and take my life. Attest. Henry Abil. You know what I don't get? Dean. Must be dead though, right? 'Cause I stopped having accidents and shit. Also, I wish I knew how to add new blocks. This system is fucked. Addendum 3. Instructions to HMCL. If any person discovers SCP-4461 or learns of its existence, you are authorized to terminate them. Only had this happen once. I hope never again. Please, God. Never again. I'm sorry, Carl. It wasn't your fault. Should any person, including Foundation personnel, be discovered to be investigating SCP-4461, the following instructions are to be followed in order. Run the attached self-deleting anti-memetic virus to locate and permanently encrypt all files related to SCP-4461 which may exist on Foundation databases. Contact the employee using the attached authentication credentials and send the compliance instructions attached. See Addendum 4. If they fail to comply, run the attached program titled 4461-WNDGO and enter the personnel name. If a mass breach of SCP-4461 occurs or is imminent, you are to run the attached failsafe program, which will retrieve direct contact information for a single overseer chosen at random. You are to send this document and all of its attachments to them. They will take appropriate action. Maybe one day we'll see each other in heaven. I mean, if I ever get there, 'cause despite what I did, I'm a good person. Right? I never meant to hurt nobody. Shouldn't have said nothing. Shouldn't have gone to the pub with you, Carl. And then I let the fucking thing slip out, and I knew. I don't know how I knew. I knew you got it. Like a disease. And then when that kid you hired got hurt at your shop, I knew it was just gonna get worse. So I did what I did to save them. And I'm sorry it's all my fault. Who am I kidding? I'm going to hell.
Addendum 4. Compliance Instructions. If you are reading this and you are not on Foundation Personnel List 8288-A, then I am sorry to inform you that you are now required to perform a specific duty to contain SCP-4461, the containment protocols of which you have broken, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The following is an instruction on behalf of the Overseer Council. Attached you will find credentials authenticating the validity of this message. You absolutely cannot tell your peers or superiors what you are about to read, or the actions you were ordered to take. Time is very short before the object begins to impact your subordinates in this organization. I know, it's happening to mine already. Order immediate termination of any Foundation employee other than you who you know has learned about the object. Footnote 3. If you do not currently have termination privileges, an authorization code is attached to this message. Send the employee's name and that code to the indicated secure mailbox in those instructions. If there is not currently an HMCL for the object, appoint the appropriate person at the top of FPL 8288-A. Terminate yourself as soon as possible. If it makes you feel any better, I am about to perform all of these instructions myself, so at least you're not alone. Ordered 05-insert here, HMCL SCP-4461.
You taking the fucking piss. Fucking 05-shit. I'll always be alone.
Addendum 5. New addendum title here.
I don't think I got any better, Dean. You was wrong.
Seems like this object has quite the potential to ruin the days of a lot of Foundation employees. You gotta feel bad for someone who's gotta bear this knowledge and know the right thing to do is to not let the knowledge get out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day.